What's up, guys? Dusty Shaw Fitness. About 3:30 in the morning. Been getting up just naturally on my own a lot earlier than normal. I've never been a morning person my whole life. Someone that requires a lot more sleep. I always should make sure to get my 8 as often as I can, and I usually make that. But I've noticed that I feel better with 9 or 10. Maybe it's to do with like physical activity or, but really even back to, a child, I always required more sleep. And so I always tell you, it's the things that are the most difficult for you that you'll get the most out of. And that through all the biohacking and optimization and life hacks, the hardest one for me, the one I have always struggled with. I've mastered all these hard things, professional fighting, you know, long term water fasting, 10 years straight almost of just pure cold showers and ice baths. The two places I've struggled the most, and number one, it's by far, is getting up early and doing it consistently. I'm just naturally a night owl. I've been that way my entire life. And my brain functions much better at night. If I was a test score at night versus in the morning or during the day, like most people, I do much better in every way, physically and mentally, cognitive, at night. It's almost like I'm naturally nocturnal. So what I found is the way to hack that is I'm not going to be one of those people that do like the normal go to sleep, by midnight and up by 8 a.m. That just don't work for me. I have to do one extreme or the other. I'm the type that will be up the entire night, go to sleep as soon as the sunlight hits. When the sunlight hits, that's when it's easiest for me to sleep. It's so backwards. So I have to train myself to do the opposite and get in touch with nature's circadian rhythm, which is also our circadian rhythm, because that's the healthiest thing you could do. Or one of the healthiest things you can do is align yourself with this life circadian rhythm for the human, because getting up first thing early in the morning and getting that sunlight sets off a cascade of events. All right, one, you're going to get that proper amount of cortisol. You want a little bit of the stress hormone cortisol, but you want it in the morning along with serotonin and then your dopamine. That's going to help your mood and your pursuit of activities. What that's going to also do is set you up so that at night, when the light goes down, your melatonin kicks on and you're able to go to sleep and get your deep REM sleep, provided you black out the room, you stay away from blue light or wear blue light glasses like I'm doing. Anytime you have artificial light, especially from screens, blue light, phones, computers, etc., make sure you're wearing blue blocking glasses. I did a recent short on how to, if you don't want to hardwire your Wi-Fi, you can just wrap it in aluminum foil, to reduce the, EMFs and all that. But kind of just jumping all over the place here with, some biohacks. But the main thing I wanted to touch in this video is, out of everything I've done, all this, the thing that I struggled with most and the last thing I got to, I thought I had mastered everything. Of course, there's still more you can learn, but I thought it was all in the spiritual realm. As I got more into Eastern spirituality, meditation, breath work, hatha yoga, all this stuff. Went through my plant medicine, journeys and all that. And the last thing I came to, when I thought I'd learned the most, is the last thing I came to is the thing that I found the most value in, and it's all light. And I found this from Jack Cruz. You can see just a few shorts ago, I talked about the blue light blocking glasses and Jack Cruz. Man, this guy was well ahead of his time with this. He still is. But they selected blue light for a reason. It is nefarious. The blue light is destroying our dopamine. This is why you have no energy, you have no attention span. Of course, the social media apps are set up for that way too. Just, just flip, 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 flip. And you notice you feel more drained and less energy. So then you don't feel like doing things even more. All right. So much of life is inverted. It's the opposite of what you think. All right. And so what I want to talk about this, the most important thing you can do is just set a time that you can get up on every morning and just make sure it's no later than when the sunlight comes out. When that sunlight comes out, you need to go out and look at it. I don't care if you just stand outside for 5 minutes and just stare at the sun. That may seem like a trivial amount, but I'm telling you, just try it. Just try it for a few weeks. A month if you can, but you'll already feel the benefit in a few weeks. It is unbelievable. It's not just that it's giving you the serotonin and dopamine and the proper stress response with cortisol. It's also releasing the melatonin at night so that you get into your deep REM slim, again, provided you do the blue blocking and dimming, and get it really cool in your room. That's really good too. All right. I usually do one topic videos, but this I'm kind of all over the place. But I'm not. Where I want to end with this is the lighting in your circadian rhythm is the most important, because it also, like I said, it affects all those things neurologically, but also it affects the digestion of your food. It affects your hormones, your endocrine system. I could just go on and on. It affects everything. Everything is filtered by your circadian rhythm, your sleep-wake cycle. All right, which the most important thing you can do next to that is to avoid caffeine and stimulants, such as amphetamines, any kind of stimulant. Stimulants are highly neurotoxic. They're vasoconstrictors, meaning they restrict blood and oxygen flow to the brain and body. All right. So when you get up in the morning, if you're someone that's addicted to stimulants such as caffeine, or you may take Adderall or something, I would really work on slowly tapering yourself off and getting off of them, and figuring out what is so wrong with your diet and your lifestyle that you need to take a stimulant to have energy. Because there's no drug you're going to take. This is how dopamine works. What comes up must come down. You will always experience an equal or greater amount of pain than you did pleasure. Okay? So it's just not worth it. Figure out the root cause of why your energy is so bad. And it's crazy to me. I mean, even teenagers now, people in their 20s, I never even tried a stimulant until I was almost 30 years old. I don't drink coffee or energy drinks. I mean, it gives me massive anxiety, no energy. I can just tell how toxic it is. I mean, it feels more toxic than when I did stimulant drugs during my addiction phase. I mean, it's, I've seen a video recently where a guy was drinking several monsters a day on top of taking stimulants like Adderall, and now his heart has to live on these repeated hookups to battery packs. At any time, if one was to die and his backup wasn't charged, he would just die. That's insane. When he could have just learned to live in sync with his circadian rhythm, woke up, seen the sunlight, go to bed on time, and not overconsume stimulants, because they're going to burn out your adrenal glands and tire you out even more. So what once gave you energy is now what's depleting your energy. All right. So figure out what it is that you're doing wrong. It's usually diet, lifestyle, lack of movement, lack of sleep. My gosh, it's the most effective biohack there is, and it's free. But they can't market it, sell it to you. So, people don't place the importance on the things you don't spend money on. But last thing I want to finish with here, and you guys tell me if you never want to see a video like this. It's totally not my style to just talk about a bunch of different things. But I'm doing this for a reason, because I wanted y'all to hear this and pick out and comment in the comments what specifically you're struggling with out of these things, or what questions you have about them, and what video topic suggestions you have about them, and I'll do deep dives on each one of these topics that you're interested in. But depression and anxiety, just high neuroticism, negative emotion, that was a more of a natural state for women, so they can be more attuned to the child's needs. They're more sensitive to it. This is not just a patriarchal thing. No, they are biologically equipped with more signals to hear a baby cry and attune to that than men. All right. We're not meant to be highly neurotic and emotional, but yet we are, because we're living completely against the way of man and the masculine way. So depression and anxiety will make you, anxiety will shrink your world so bad to where you end up wasting years locked in a room, hiding from the world, doing drugs like I did and so many others. Depression will do the same. It tells you, I have no energy. I can't even get up to go brush my teeth or take a shower. Like, it's going to take all the energy, the tiny bit of energy I have this for day. It's going to take every bit of it. And I'm going to procrastinate for hours until I finally get up. And I'm not going to do it until I have to use the bathroom so I can make that one trip I got of me for the day to go to urinate and do my hygiene. And then that's it. Then I'm floored, exhausted the rest of the day. But the amount of hours of mental torment of thinking how I'm going to just muster the energy to go do that. I know that sounds insane to many of you people, but all you have to do is look up the statistics. I'm not alone in this. You know, a lot of people just aren't willing to talk about it and admit they went through it because it makes them feel weak, all right? But I'm fine. You know, I talked about it when I went through it, and now I've overcame it. All right, so I'm here to share it with you. Yours may not be that bad yet. Mine didn't start out that bad. It was a progression. It got worse and worse. Don't let it get there, because once it gets there, it becomes suicidal. You know, whether intentionally or, you know, you could argue whether intentional or unintentional. People take themselves out with drugs, and so do not let it get there. If you're already starting to see your energy come down and you feel like you have to take stimulants because your energy is lacking that bad, that's a sign that something's wrong. You're not producing ATP, adenosine triphosphate. You're not producing energy. Your mitochondria are weak. They're not functioning like they should. All right. One of the really great things you can take is Retatrutide, MOTS-C, and creatine. These three powerhouses will rebuild your mitochondrial function, insulin resistance, blood sugar control. They work on all three. It's the only GLP that I recommend. I have some myself now. I'm getting ready to run. That I will document the entire, starting today. I'm going to start documenting my entire transformation with it. But after I'm going to drop this video and see what questions you have, and I'm going to drop the Retatrutide video, and then from there on, whatever videos you guys ask about from this one. But anyway, guys, this is a short video. Just wanted to put some things out there, some feelers, so I can get a feedback from y'all, what video y'all want to hear next. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to please comment, as it helps support the algorithm, because you know I'm being censored. Love you guys.